We're talking about the tactic that has won just a ton of Grand Slam titles. Roger Federer, Steffi Graf, Justine Henin. We could go on and on. That's right, we're talking about the slice backhand and how to effectively use it. In today's game, where power and topspin and the speed of the game is such a focus, we've lost kind of sight of the art of the slice, right? And what we're talking about is how to use the slice to exploit opponent's weakness and then to really optimize your strengths. And that's exactly what we saw Federer do for a very, very long time. It wasn't until the likes of Djokovic and Nadal until this tactic had to become a little bit more layered upon. He started having to come over the backhand and do different things. So let's talk about why it's so advantageous and what the strategy is. So number one is on the slice backhand, you're controlling the tempo of the game. So if you have somebody that wants to play really fast, kind of bang ball, you're able to kind of take the air out of the room and you're able to hit a nice slice that is nice and deep. It's going to make the game slow down, and this disrupts rhythm. For a lot of players, this is enough to make them make these unforced errors. What it also does is it allows time for you to centralize your weapon. So what we'd see with Federer is that slice cross court to the backhand. As the player looked to take the ball and go back cross court, Federer could then step to his left and find the forehand. He could centralize his forehand by slowing down the game with his slice backhand. Number two is all about probes, and this is one that is extremely effective if you've got a good short slice. It's a pattern that has driven me crazy for years. Martin, my good buddy that you've seen on camera, it's the reason I can't beat him is because of his slice backhand and his probes. His backhand coming over the ball is a weakness, right? So I try to exploit it. The problem is his slice is also really, really good. And what he does is he sends these different probes with the slice, mixing up the pace, some deep, some short. But the short one, especially when I'm looking for the deep ball, is what gives me the most problems. And the reason is that it forces me to answer a question. Am I willing to come in behind it? And if I come in behind it, most of the time I'm having to chip down the line to his forehand. And this is a problem because now he's on the move with the forehand and he's able to take the ball down the line, cross court, dip at my feet. He can lob. There's a number of things he can do. This is the same exact thing Federer did. You would tell, like, in his matches, he would stay 2-all, 3-all with somebody and really just kind of look for these weaknesses. And the minute that he figured out that they didn't like coming in over the backhand, like imagine his matches with Seppi, right? Destroyed this guy by just constantly being like, come on in off that backhand. And when he realized that they were uncomfortable with it, he would force them in and then look for the pass. And again, just changing it up between this deep and short ball. Now you might be thinking, well, yeah, but if you hit a short chip, can't they come back in cross court to your backhand? Why do they have to play down the line to your forehand? You can, but then you're coming in on a cross court ball and you're just giving them a ton of angle to work with, which creates its own problems as well. All right, and so number three with the slice is the down the line slice backhand. I mean, Steffi Graf never came over a ball in her professional career, and her slice backhand just made her forehand an absolute monster. And so what this strategy does is that when she would take the slice down the line, sometimes she would come in behind it, but a lot of times she didn't. She would hit the ball and it would force the opponent a lot of times to play back cross court. The ball is low, sliding, it's very tough to bring it back down the line. And if they do bring it down the line, then you have both players on the outer thirds and Steffi Graf can just rip a backhand cross court for a winner. So when she would slice her backhand down the line, they would pull it back cross court. Steffi then had her forehand and she could play down the line or just at least get back into a forehand pattern. She got control of her forehand by using the slice down the line. This is the exact same way that Federer used the slice cross court to centralize his inside out, right? So these are all just setups. Think of your slice backhand as the best jab in the world, right? It's setting up your knockout punch, right? So if you don't have a slice backhand, these are the things that you want to work on, and you want to be able to control the height, the depth, the speed. Carlos Alcaraz working through these speeds and then incorporating more drop shots, kind of like the days of Wilander, all right? So get out there, work on your slice, and apply these strategies, and just who knows, maybe one day you'll be the next Grand Slam champion. We'll see you next time.